Hi, it's me. I'm going to show you how to make this really cute Mother's Day card, floral pop-up card, perfect for any occasion, not just Mother's Day. And it even has a magnet. Let's go ahead and get started. This is the base card. We are going to score it in half and then fold it over. I like to make the creases for pop-up cards extra sharp, so sometimes I use the back of a scissors or boning tool to deepen the creases. These are the mechanisms. We have two main ones, and I am going to put one to the side for now. Instead of measuring it out, I'm going to fold it in half, and then I'm going to pinch the top and bottom so I know where the center is. Then I'm going to score it where I creased it. I am using a pen with no ink to make that crease a little bit deeper. We're going to do a similar thing on this side, except for we're going to make a right angle. And we do that by bringing this point up to the very top of the paper. And then I did the same method where I pinched it, and then I'm going to score it. This is a good way to measure if you are feeling a little bit lazy to measure. So I messed up a little bit, so I'm using the back of my scissors to deepen the crease. And then I am measuring it again or folding it again on the other side. So now we have a right angle V-fold without the little V in the middle. Ta-da! When we glue this piece on our base card, we're going to make sure the center creases line up with the center creases of the base card, just like this. I decided I wanted to trim the edges and round them out a little bit so that when I put in the leaves, it'll hopefully flow a little bit better. I don't know if it will, but we'll see. Now I'm going to add glue onto these glue tabs, and then I am going to adhere it down to the sheet. I'm going to give it a little bit of time to dry and press on the creases, and then voila! It folds into the middle just like that. We're going to take the second piece of cardstock and we're going to measure about where we want to have the flower hang off, which is right there. And the piece is a little bit long, so I am going to chop off about an inch. So let's chop that off really quick, and then I'm going to add 1/2 inch glue tabs on both sides of this strip of paper, like this. 1/2 inch there and there. So now after you fold it, snip off some of the corners to make it cleaner for gluing so they don't stick out funny. And I want to place it here. So yes, right there at that angle. Let's add some glue and then adhere it down. Be sure that the bottom of the glue tab is in line with the bottom of the mechanism in the middle. Now, once everything is dry, you'll be able to fold it in just like this, and it will naturally find the crease for that parallel fold. It's kind of cool, right? Paper knows where it has to go. So press down those creases really well, like this. And then you'll need to go back in and make sure that none of the corners came up like that. Ta-da! Now we have a mechanism. These are the pieces that are going to pop out of our cards. We have 3 flowers that are 4 by 4, and of course they're rounded into the shape of a flower within that little square. And then we have our leaves here, which is 2 by 4, and there are 5 of them. And then we have our little butterfly, which is 2 by 3. Before I glue down all the pieces, I like to get an idea of where things are going to go. I want the pink flower to be here across that crease, and then I want the yellow flower to kind of cover half of that pink flower. And then behind that, I'm going to put a little leaf right over there, and then the blue flower is going to, or purple leaf flower is going to hang off the end of that last mechanism. And the mechanism in the background kind of looks like grass. So it works out quite nicely, and here I am placing the last of the leaves. So yes, I am ready to glue. When you're gluing things down in a pop-up, make sure you only place glue where you need it. You want to be sure that things do not stick to the base card or inadvertently to mechanisms in a way you don't want. So I'm only placing glue where I need it to stick to the cardstock so that it doesn't go anywhere else, hopefully. So if there are pieces on the inside that tend to stick out when you fold the card over, just trim them off. These are little wavy lines and it actually looks quite fine. For this guy, because it's on a crease, I need to add a crease into the leaf where it would naturally fold in, and that way it'll fold easily with the card. So there's that little crease, and then it is glued against that mechanism. This sleeve goes right behind, and that's pretty straightforward to glue. Just make sure you don't glue it across any creases, otherwise you'll have a hard time trying to score it. This pink flower is a little bit special because it goes across the parallel fold crease, but we don't want it to go across the center crease of the mechanism. So we're going to have to score it first along this crease right here where the top of the parallel fold is that it folds into. And it'll make more sense in a second. So here I am creating a really deep score into the flower so that it folds easily. I probably should have used thinner cardstock. This is doubled up 100-pound cardstock, but I think 65 would have been fine in this case right here. And then this guy is going to overlap it, and I don't want it cross over the center crease, so I'm just free drawing out how the petals are going to look. These pieces are going to be a little bit hidden by the yellow flower, but still make them look nice because I found people like to see how the mechanism in a pop-up works. So see how the flower is folding in when I close the card right there? So that's how it's going to fold and open up. So when we glue this down, we want to make sure that we glue down the necessary petals so that it stays adhered to the mechanism and then it's above the crease. So like right there where that crease is, it's like another mini card inside our card. If that makes any sense. I hope it does. But ta-da, look, there's my flower on top of the fold. It looks cool, right? So I forgot to glue this leaf down, so I'm going to glue it down behind the pink flower. And I only glued down half the flower, but you'll see why in a second, because I need to glue that purple flower in between its petals. So there it is. I'm making sure that leaf is hidden behind the card, so I'm pushing it while the glue is still wet, which is part of the reason why I love glue so much, because you could still wiggle things around. So here is our purple flower. I keep calling it a blue flower, but it's going to be glued behind and over some of the petals. So I interlace them right here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue down that top petal first. So I'm placing glue behind it, and then I am going to stick it down, just like that. And then once I have that, I know where to place glue on the other petal. You can just bend it up ever so slightly just to get glue under there. Now we can lift up this piece and then add glue onto the back. It makes it nice and easy because it looks like one solid piece, and I can just kind of put glue everywhere along this back because it's completely covered. And then I also have to make sure I put glue on the petals that are going to stick to those leaves on the side. So there it is. We have a little moving flower thingy on the left side. It's kind of cute. And so for any piece that sticks out, just cut it off. And since they're flowers and it's going to be shown, you do want to make sure that it follows the design of the flower. I can't remember if I mentioned it, but these are actually cutouts from Cricut. Here is the yellow flower, and I wanted it to overlap the pink flower, so it needs to be glued to the right side on the right side of that crease in the center. And I wanted it to be over here, and then after a little bit of debate, I decided I wanted it to be a little bit lower. So I lowered it down right here, and then I creased it so that it would fold just like the leaf did. So here I am marking it, and then I am using a ruler and my pen with no ink to crease it. So there it is. It folds in quite well. It looks like I planned it out meticulously, but I didn't. So here, let's add some glue to glue down what look like feet now of the flower. And oops, I'm going to glue it, and once it's dry and measured up, it will be really cool. Alright, so let's see, it's a little bit more dry, so let's apply more glue on the back of the flower to adhere it to the leaves slash grass. And then my plan was to trim off anything I didn't like that was sticking out. But look at this! Look at this! We've got a pop-up card! The movement is really nice. So now I have a little part there in the upper right. I don't know if you could see it where my Cricut missed the paper, so I'm going to use the butterfly to cover it. So let's stick this butterfly down below the leaves because we know that won't pop out, and then now we have a pop-up card. Ta-da! You can add any words you like to make it extra special, customize it for Mother's Day, Friendship Day, whatever day, and it'll be really cute and really unique to give. So, but before we do that, I gotta trim this edge off because it's bugging me. So there it is. There's our little pop-up card, and it's very simple but very, very cute. So for me, I'm going to use this for Mother's Day. These letters are cut out of True Brushed vinyl from Cricut, and I really like the way it makes the card feel. I'm a very feely person, so it feels nice. And then to decorate the front, you can actually open up your card and lay it on its belly since it lays flat. So this is my plan, to have this yellow, you can't really see it, textured cardstock on the top of the card, and then on top of that is a piece of shimmery white cardstock, and then the words Happy Mother's Day, of course, in vinyl because I love the way it feels and looks. So here's the textured paper being glued down. I wish you could see it. It looks like a flower, like little sunflowers that mimic the inside card. And then this one is going to be sitting on top, and I'm using foam dots to give it even more dimension. I've been feeling foam dots lately, so I'm going to use this pack that I've had for like years. And there's our card. So it doesn't close well, so I decided last minute to make a latch. I'm cutting a 1-inch strip sheet of paper, which is right here, and then I'm going to measure how much I want it to go in. So it folds over, and then I kind of crease it with my nail to know where to chop it off. So here we are chopping it off, and after that I'm going to take a look and make sure I like the size. I like it, so I'm going to round off the edges with my corner rounding tool, then double check the measurement again, make sure I like the way it looks. So first we're going to start by taking a magnet and gluing it on the front of the latch. I'm using this glue called Uhu glue, which I really like. It smells a little funky, but it does the job really well, and it doesn't wrinkle my cardstock. So I am putting my magnet on there, and then I want my magnet to sit there, so I'm going to place it there and then place the other magnet on the back of the card. When I'm happy with its placement, I mark its position so that I know where to glue. I'm placing more glue where the magnet is going to go, and I stick it down right here, and then on top of that magnet, once I wiggle it around more, I am going to place more glue on top and then close it up so that the latch is there. The front piece should open and close without any issue, just like this. And now you have a really cute floral pop-up card, perfect for any occasion. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you like this type of stuff, please comment down below. If you've had any questions, just make a comment and I will respond to you. Take care and have a great day. Enjoy!